Hello and welcome to the Evening Meltdown. My name's Gavin Curran. On today's show we'll be talking about the history of cinema and how technology has changed over the years. Also we'll be talking about the popularity battle between DVD and now Blu-ray against the cinema. In this first segment we'll be talking about the history of cinema, how technology started back in the day and where it'll be leading to in the near future. The first machine patented in the United States that showed animated pictures or movies was a device called the Wheel of Life, or the Zoopraxiscope. Patented in 1867 by William Lincoln, moving drawings or photographs were shown through slits in the Zoopraxiscope. This was a far cry from motion pictures as we know them today. Modern motion picture making began with the invention of the motion picture camera. Frenchman Louis Lumiere is often credited with the invention of the first motion picture camera, the Zoopraxiscope, but in truth many other inventions have been made around the same time. But what Lumiere invented was a portable motion picture camera, film processing unit and a projector called the cinematograph, three functions in one invention. The cinematographer made the motion picture era very popular, but it could be said that he started the old era. Lumiere and his brother were the first to project moving photographic pictures to paying audiences of more than one person, but the Lumiere brothers were not the first to start projecting film. The first exhibition of film took place on April the 14th, 1894, in the first kinetoscope parlour ever built. Edison, the creator of the kinetoscope, originally intended to create a sound film system, which would not gain worldwide recognition until the release of the Jazz Singer in 1927. In 1896, it became clear that there was money to be made by projecting films to large audiences, rather than in Edison's kinetoscope peep show machines. The Edison company took up a projector developed by Armat and Jenkins, called the Phantoscope, later renamed the Vitascope, and it joined various projector machines that used to show the 480mm. Films were being made by the Edison company and others in France and in the UK. In the 1900s, the Mutascope company was initially set up to exploit peep show type films using designs made by W.K.L. Dixon after he left the Edison company in 1895. He used 70mm wide films and each frame was printed separately onto paper sheets for insertion into the Mutascope. The image sheet stood out from the periphery of a rotating drum and flipped into view in succession. Besides the Mutascope, they also made a major projector called the Biograph, which could project continuous positive film prints made from the same negatives. There are a number of things that have changed over the last 100 years or so. Technology is always changing and becoming more advanced. Richard Hines, a technical specialist at Currys & Crew, tells us more.
Nice to meet you.
At Currys, my role is PC specialist. It means that I control some of the sales staff, have higher targets, have higher training than some of the other people that work there.
So what is the most selling product recently?
At the moment, running up to Christmas, it's going to be the Amazon Kindle. We're selling about 20 a day.
So have you seen an increase in shoppers at Currys recently?
As it's coming up to Christmas, yes, but year round it generally isn't as much.
So what is the least selling product at the moment?
The least selling products that we've got at the moment probably things like the BlackBerry Playbook. There's so many different tablets out now that everyone's competing, and really all they're doing is everyone's competing with Apple. They say they're trying to update it and get new software out, but still, compared to iPads and such, we probably sell, for every Playbook, we sell probably about 30 iPads.
So is there a particular brand that is most popular at the moment?
The most popular brands that we have, Amazon with the Kindle, Apple as usual, iPad and iPod.
So what is your opinion on technology and how it has changed?
Like you've got Kindle for your books instead of buying paperback books, you've got iPods for your music, you just download it or buy it from iTunes. Movies are the same now. And games are going that way as well with Steam and you're online buying through Xbox Live and things like that. People don't mind paying £90 for a Kindle, but they begrudge paying £3 for a book. That's the biggest thing that I've seen to change a lot. You can have anything when you want it. which is the biggest sort of change that I've seen in technology.
And how do you feel about that?
If for 200, 300 years you've always walked into a bookshop and bought a book, and then suddenly you download it in a second and there's nothing you can actually tangibly touch, it's very hard for people to change their way of looking at it and their perception. So that's probably where everything's going, but it's going to take a long time for people to realise that.
Now for the second segment of the show, we'll be talking about the popularity of DVD and Blu-ray against the cinema and which one you people most favour. There's a debate going on around the world whether home entertainment will soon take over from the cinema, and we've had loads of emails come in of people voicing their opinions on this matter.
I prefer watching movies at home because I can sit on my nice, relaxing sofa. I can drink a beer, and if I want to lie down on the sofa, I can. But in the cinema you always get somebody at the side of you, and they're very noisy, eating popcorn or shouting, and I can't really focus on the movie.
Well, thanks for that, Mark. As I said, we've had a number of emails sent in from people who watch the show. Here are a few examples.
Hi, when you watch a movie at home, you always have family members interrupt you. The phone rings and there are always things going on. Whereas in the cinema, people are usually pretty quiet and you can just sit and enjoy the movie. You've got your popcorn, your hot dog, and there's a sense of excitement at the cinema. But when you sit down to watch a movie at home, there's no sense of excitement. And anyway, how many people can afford a giant TV and Dolby surround sound in their home?
Well, that's definitely one of the reasons I like to go to the cinema, an all-out pig fest. And I think you definitely have a point about the entertainment, but enough about me. On to the next slide.
If it's raining, you don't want to go out. If it's snowing, you definitely don't want to go out. Whereas at home, there is now plenty of choice, now available on your TV via satellite film channels and via download or streaming from the internet.
We went to our local Odeon cinema and asked members of the public their opinion on this matter, which is clearly dividing the nation.
Well, generally, in the darkened room, it's just you and the film.
I enjoy the fun, the thrill of the moment, going with friends.
Basically leisure and comfort. Cool to go along and get caught up in that sort of buzz as well.
I don't think they use 3D often enough in film.
3D is just a big gimmick at the moment. Definitely 2D.
Personally, I'm more of a fan of 2D, but I do enjoy 3D as well.
Definitely 2D.
I don't think 3D really adds much to it. I prefer 2D.
It's just, that's how I like it.
Maybe the comforts of just being at home.
Basically leisure and comfort. I have the freedom of will to watch movies however I want at home, whereas at the cinema I have to abide by rules and regulations.
Well, it seems cinema won that match-up. Will they win the next one? One can wonder, but I'm sure we'll find out. If you want to share your opinion with us, then you can. You can text us on 67543. Alternatively, you could email us. Our address is meltdown@impact.com. You can visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/meltdown. And finally, our Twitter page is at meltdown.tv. That's all we have time for. I've been Gavin Curran, thanking you for watching the Evening Meltdown. Until next time.